Hello, hello, hello. It's me, Shell, your host and pocket DJ of Coffee Fueled Stories, a show where storytelling and coffee hang out. Today, we have a very, 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 very special guest. We have Jon from the band VEER, and we are going to talk about their new song, Pet Semetary, coming out on October 30th. Hello.
Right, that's right. Thanks for having me.
This is awesome. Walk us through what made you guys decide to do this song and drop it this year.
It's kind of funny. So we debuted this song in 2019 at our a big Halloween party we played in Baltimore for the EP release for Shut Up and Breathe. So we played this there. We did a big Halloween show, and we're not a cover band, so
Right.
we kind of wanted to, do something that was people weren't expecting, kind of throw that off. And since it was an EP release show for the song Breathe and all the stuff we had going on, we thought it was kind of cool to throw in a remake version of a song. And Pet Cemetery was always one that was cool. I mean, obviously the connection with Ron being a writer, and doing all that, and the Stephen King and the horror and all this stuff, and the Ramones and the movie growing up with Pet Cemetery. It just happened to be a cool fit, and we played some other kind of Halloween songs, and that one just flowed really well, and we enjoyed playing it. And since then, we have pulled it out at different Halloween shows throughout the years. Then we decided let's actually cut this and put it out. So we did Pet Cemetery, and we recorded another cover that we haven't announced yet. That we teamed up with another singer from another band who's very amazing. This dude Anthony from Animal Ion, that'll be coming out, which we're actually going to the studio today to finish working on some of that.
Right on, right on. So when will the Pet Cemetery drop again? It drops on.
Pet Cemetery drops on all streaming platforms and everything on October 30th. We are doing for the whole month of October, we're doing a vinyl pre order. So everyone is always asking us for vinyl, and we decided let's do something we haven't done. We haven't done a vinyl. We've never done a cover song, so we decided let's do it all together. And we did a package with the 7-inch vinyl, a CD compact disc of it, a 8-inch like zombie die cut hand, some other stuff, sign or trading cards and everything. Kind of threw a little trick or treat package together for adults.
That's
So
That's awesome. And because you guys do really cool stuff with in general. We talked about this last year. And it's the
the
Veer
pumpkin
with,
kick tin.
yeah. And you've got the logo in there, and then there's a couple, and then this one has the glow in the dark. There's some glow in the dark pics. These are
That's right.
so this stuff is so cool. Your guys' marketing, like you guys are like so on with the marketing, and especially how fun you guys with the Halloween stuff. Like it's just brilliant marketing. Like I love what you guys do with that stuff.
Well, thank you. We've put a lot of thought and time into it, make sure everything is planned out. That's probably why it took us from 2019 to 2024 to put this song out.
Totally, totally. So for this particular song, you guys did your own take on it.
Hmm.
And like I said, and thank you for sharing it. I love it. I haven't every time I sit down on my computer, I play it. I've got it on my computer, so I listen to it, and I'm literally, and I sent you the video, and I've just been rocking out to it like nonstop.
Awesome.
So it's amazing. Did everybody like kind of give some input onto like how should we change this up, or what do you guys think about like this idea? Like walk us through the process of how you created this particular version of this song.
Yeah, so the writing process and recording and jamming process within VEER, everyone has equal say in everything. We've all played music together for so long. Obviously, me and Ron my entire life, and then the other guys in there for years. And we just kind of flow together, come up with some ideas. Let's try this, let's do that. But everyone will bring little pieces to the table, and then we'll kind of structure it out, maybe like tempo changes and different things from there. And then we always, just like the merchandise and the marketing and everything we do, we always like to put the VEER spin on it. It has to be, even though this is a cover song, it is a VEER song. It does not sound like the Ramones. It sounds like VEER.
It
You know,
Yes, exactly. It has it's you're familiar with it because we've heard, the
Hmm.
lyrics and we know the words, but you guys like from the second you first open with that first note, like it's straight up Veer. Like that that's who you're listening to for
Yes,
sure.
and we, like the intro of this song kind of was put together by, our guitarist Ryan Fowler, who wanted to have a different intro because other bands have covered this song before, and everyone just copies how the Ramones play it. So we thought, why not, have our own intro and build up and bring it to this, and then we worked that out. And the harmony vocal lines that were put in there by Ron and Ryan going back and forth on that, and the bass lines with Christian put in there, which on the it's kind of cool because on the 45 and on the CD we have an instrumental version of it it's an extended length, and without the vocals in there you can really hear the melodies and the grooves, and it almost sounds like a different song
Oh
when it's
wow.
instrumental, which is cool. And we wanted to throw it back to that whole 80s where the 45 with the instrumental on one side and then the song on the other and the different take. But it's really a collective agreement. We go through a lot of stuff on it, and then whatever flows out and whatever we feel happy with is kind of what we put out on it. So I mean, it wouldn't be Veer without the four members in this band. Even if one of us switched out, it'd be a totally different sound. So
So
that's awesome.
you've got fans that you probably don't even know you have, and so I was wondering if you could just do like a real quick shout out to her and just be like, "What's up, Kelly?" Please.
What's up, Kelly? Thanks for enjoying the track. I appreciate that.
Awesome, awesome. I like I said, when I had a chance to talk with your brother,
Hmm.
back when, and then when he shared a few of your songs, and then you and I started messaging, and I was just like, man, I was like, I wish I lived in your guys' area because I seriously would be at every single show. Like you guys, I could just imagine like
Thank you.
the performance that you guys put on. Like it just seems like you guys just it's your heart and soul, and I just like I said, I love to help and support however I can, all the way on the West Coast.
Well, I appreciate that. Actually, we have a lot of supporters on the West Coast. We need to make a trip there eventually. Either that or just fly everyone in to a show around here. But
Totally.
yeah, we got a lot of bands out there that we hang with, especially we got like the guys in Core, which are in San Diego area, and Scorpion Percussion Drumsticks, who endorse me, and they're all good group of guys. But we got a lot of bands out there, and who knows, maybe one day we will make that trip and
That
and
that would
hit it.
be awesome. That would be awesome. So I'm wearing your Veer shirt, which is for the vodka.
Hmm.
Which you guys like that was just like a limited run, right? Like that was
Hmm.
just something that you did just kind of for fun. And then you guys just came out with the beer, right? The
Hmm.
Veer beer.
Yes, we did. So the vodka was kind of a we kind of put this idea together. It was coming out of the kind of the COVID era where we weren't playing a lot. There wasn't a lot of things going on, obviously. And I'm always kind of my wheels are spinning for kind of licensing and marketing ideas and just to keep people engaged. And we did some music videos during that time, but we teamed up with a local distillery who, we jived with them really good. We put everything together and we launched this product, and it was fun. We did like a big release party at the distillery. We played there in front of a bunch of people. The local like radio stations came out. It was a great time. And then that ran its course, and it was on to the next thing that we wanted to do. And everyone is always like, "Where's the Veer beer? Where's the Veer beer?" So of course we had to do a Veer beer, and we teamed up with great guys out in Oklahoma, out of all places, Rapture Brewing, and we put together this concept for 32-ounce beers because beer doesn't do anything normal or small. We have to always go above and beyond, right? So
Totally.
we did the 32-ounce growlers, our Astronaut Amber Lager, which is based off of the song off of Soft Machines, which
Yes.
was the album that's we're kind of promoting now.
That one.
And yep, copyright there. So and then we kind of put that whole concept together, and now we're working. Like I said, we're in the studio. We're doing these Pet Cemetery. Where we'll have another single drop around Christmas, which I'm not going to tell you what that's going to be. That's going to be awesome. It is another cover, and then that's we're releasing the two covers, putting that out, and then we will start working on. I believe we're going to work on an EP or a new album. I don't know. It depends on Ron's book schedule is crazy. Our guitar players in another project that they're playing all over and touring everywhere. So it's kind of just who could put it together. I'm running this guitar business on the side too. So we got a lot of stuff, but it's either going to be an EP or an album. So always something, in the fire working. So
I love that. I always want to say like you guys strike me as like the hardest working band in out there.
it's
And I know
pretty
you hear
funny. The
lots of
guys are all lazy.
well, smoke and mirrors on this side. It looks like you guys are nothing
That's
but
right.
hustle, bustle, hustle, bustle. So
That's right.
that's
So, well, at least
hilarious.
it comes across that way. That's good.
For sure. It totally comes across that way. So when you guys do these things, is it are you approached like with the beer? Somebody, they kept saying, "Where's Veer beer? Where's Veer beer?" And like, have you been up? Like, how does this stuff like? Does it just like fall into your laps, or do you guys actually like actively do it, like with the vodka and the beer and stuff
Well,
like that?
I'm
Or a
always
little bit of
hungry
both.
for things, different concepts, things to be different. Obviously, bands have been putting out beers for a while, and that's kind of how the vodka thing started. I was like, well, it's too hard to have people go and be like, buy a 6 pack or buy this. I was like, let's just see if we could team up with someone who could put our name on a vodka bottle. And it's one bottle to carry, and that's kind of the thing with the beer too. The space hydration capsules, as we call them.
That's awesome.
But no, I kind of develop concepts, and then go through with the band and then pitch these ideas for licensing and marketing, for companies that I think we're a good fit with and kind of share the same hustle, as you say, and kind of go through that. But Rapture Brewing, the guy Mitch, who's out there, it was kind of like we both were reaching out to each other. He happened to be, a fan of Ron's writing and the band, and we happened to be a fan of beer, and his beer is really good. So it just kind of worked out that way, and it was, something that we put together and did a limited run with this. And who knows what we'll do, maybe something in the springtime with them. And, there's another local beer company out of the Maryland area, which I can't name right now, but potentially doing something with them as well, and kind of hitting the store shelves and the markets with that stuff. So it's really about just kind of licensing. I know the guys are really in tune to the music, and they hate when I say it, but it's almost like we're a merchandising company with a soundtrack. You know what I mean? Like music is free everywhere.
Yeah.
So how do you stand out, get people out? How do you build up this? We call it the VEER Nation. How do you build up this group of people who like your music and come out and support and like your beer and like your vodka and your t-shirts and your picks and whatever, and
Yeah,
just kind of keep them involved and engaged.
absolutely. You guys have cards. You
Yes,
guys have
trading
cards.
card.
You have patches. You have buttons, stickers, buttons, dog tag. I love the dog tag. That's awesome. You guys also did so was the dog tag in relation to veterans? Because I know you guys do a lot of things for veterans as
Yes,
well. You played a couple of shows.
we do a lot of work with the Warrior Music Foundation,
Thank you.
which is
Yes.
music therapy for like veterans and stuff like that, and first responders. And we're big supporters of military first responders and stuff like that. And so those were packs that were made to help raise money for the foundation. And we usually play their big concert. We've done it twice. They do one in September each year, and we've been fortunate enough to play on 2 of those. But yeah, that's just another thing. Was kind of like we called it a battle pack, and we put it together and help raise money for that. And the trading cards. Actually, with the Pet Cemetery is we are releasing card number 5, which I don't know if you can see it right here. Here it is,
That's awesome.
5.
Yes.
So in the series, so that'll be coming out with those packs right there. So it's always something. I think the guys, they got like 500 things they got to sign. So that's another thing, because we got to start getting stuff together to ship out the pre-orders, which ends October 31st. There are still some of those left. So if anyone is interested in getting those, I don't know how to do the edit or the point. If you go like this and it
I'll
appears
stick
right
it there if
here,
you want.
there you go. But yeah, so just kind of doing that. And like I said, we always like to do little things, and this is kind of our adult trick or treat package.
I
And October 30th, the song will drop everywhere. You can stream it, download it, buy it, whatever. So you can play it the day before Halloween, all day on Halloween. You can mix it in there, and we'll see what it is. So
That's awesome. Like I love the adult trick or treat because it's true. Like, we those of us that love Halloween like every day, all year round, like, there's nothing wrong with that now. Thank goodness, finally people understand that Halloween is a happy day and why not feel happy every day and celebrate Halloween every day? Like there's nothing wrong with that.
well, yeah,
And
and we love it. So we usually throw like a big Halloween party at my house, and then all the guys come over with their kids, and it's a huge. I mean, the trick or treating here is outrageous, and the streets will be mobbed. We do like a big party, and it's just great, and everyone will have their VEER beer and all their stuff, and we'll be spinning the new tune, hanging out, and giving out candy to all the kiddos.
that's awesome. So for Halloween, do you have a favorite candy that you like to hand out? And do you have a favorite candy that you like to eat? So what candy do you like to hand out?
You know what? I It depends on what mood I'm in. I'm more of a sweet and sour, kind of hard candy kind of guy. But sometimes I like chocolate. But I'm in charge of the adult handout. So over here in Annapolis, I'll like to shuck some oysters, have some drinks, and I'll give those to the adults coming by and everyone hanging out. And then my wife will do the candy and take the kids around. Um, I have to say I do love Sour Patch Kids. That's probably one of mine. Which is weird because I hate sour beers, so it's kind of weird. But I would say Sour Patch Kids, and really, we hand out Pokemon cards around here too, and the little
No way.
Pokestacks because my kids are really into those. So you know, whatever candy my wife picks up, and we go through like baskets of it around here. So it's just
Dang, your house is your house is the where it's at. That's awesome.
yeah.
That's so
Well,
cool.
that's how these little party get-togethers are started. So.
That is so cool. So for the for pet blah, 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 blah. For Pet Cemetery, is there like a particular section in playing the drums? Is there a particular section that just you were like, this is like my favorite part? Like, do you have favorite parts in songs, like playing drums? Like, is that
I do have favorite parts in songs, and it's funny that you say that because most of them don't have to do with drumming, so it's kind of odd. But my favorite parts in songs are what me and Ron we like to call the money shot, is where the vocal melody and the harmony and everything all comes together on the downbeat and the rhythm and the melody, and it just hits that magic moment where you're
yeah,
like, oh man, that's a hook. That's good.
yeah.
And I get those in a lot of songs when Ron's doing it. And I also love when we kick into a groove and Ryan plays like hits in his guitar solos, or Christian's playing a good bass line, and it's just rocking, and you get that little feeling of like, wow, there you go. I really I There's a lot of cover song or a lot of bands that did covers of Pet Cemetery. None of them did guitar solos, and Ryan's guitar solo in this song is awesome, and I mean he just slays. So he put a really good solo in it where it just fits the song perfectly, and it just adds that nice touch of veer to it. So
That's awesome of you to say because I wasn't expecting that because obviously I didn't know what to expect, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna give this a listen and go with it. And when the guitar solo part started, I was like, oh, yeah, that's totally them. Like it was unexpected, but when you think about it, it's expected because that's like you said, that's beer. Like that's your
right,
guys' sound, which is awesome. That is so cool.
yeah. And that Ron was even on. He played like keys, organ on this track as well.
Yeah, I was
So
like, I think I hear keyboard in there. I was like, what is it? Because again, I don't have like the best quality, for music. These are headphones for podcasting, and
mhm.
so I was listening to it, like as loud as I could without it being uncomfortable. And I was like, I want to hear like all of the tracks in there. I want to hear all of this music come together. And I was
Yeah,
like,
well, you're going to be able to hear it too because the instrumental version it sounds totally different because you have the full bass melodies going and everything, and there's no vocals on it, so you can hear all the instrumentation on it. So it sounds like a different track, which is always cool about instrumentals.
right? Yeah, that's I don't know about you. So, my favorite thing to do with my allowance money, because I classic kid of the 80s, I earned allowance at the end of the week. I was allowed to go and spend it, and I would spend mine at the record store.
Hmm.
And my favorite thing to do was come home with my collection of records and sit at the edge of my bed and, put that record on. The second that needle like hit that vinyl, and I would just sit there. It was just like the room just filled with music. It was just like the most glorious thing.
Yeah, I think the music industry and kids these days are missing that. There's something to be said about holding the actual physical copy and looking at the artwork and seeing what the band intended you to see and
Yeah,
knowing about everything that's going on as opposed to I'm just putting a playlist and streaming it through. I mean, there's a lot of thought that goes into this stuff.
totally. That just reminded me. There was a meme that I saw literally yesterday. And it said, if someone gives you a mixtape, they really love you because it's a true labor of love.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's no joke. Trying to get that timing just right on it, like you got to record it just right and then release it just right.
That's right. And then you also had to pick the songs in order that it didn't stop in the middle of a song. So you had to add
Yeah,
up all the time. That's right.
it was, yeah. Kids these days, no, I'm not going to go there because I'm actually happy to learn how to do this stuff now. But it's really funny. Like I said, that meme just popped into my head, and it's true because I never thought about it. In my head, I was like, oh, it'll probably take me a couple hours to make this mixtape for, my friend who's going on a road trip, and I'm going to pick the perfect songs. And, 4 hours later, you're like, damn, that was a lot of work.
Yeah. But the good thing was if it was a good mixtape, then you would copy the mixtape and then you would trade it and boom, those
Right?
things are great. I mean, you look at kids now, everyone like my even my kids, my daughter should be on her phone. I'm like, I didn't have that. That'd be 4 hours making a mixtape.
Totally, totally. Do you still have any of your cassette tapes? Or
I
do you still
do. I
have?
have some really good mixes that were made that have I've probably had for the past 20, 30 years.
Oh,
So
that's awesome. Is there a song that just instantly transports you back to like the day that you said, "This is when I want to play drums"?
it's funny. I started playing drums around the age of 3.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yes. So my family, well, my brothers and everyone in my family is very musical. My dad growing up played in a band, drums and guitar. So we always had that around. And then me being the youngest of my two older brothers, seeing everything they were doing. But Ron had a Huey Lewis and the News VHS tape. And I had a little drum set, and my mom would put that in and, clean around the house. And I would just be playing along to it. And eventually my mom was like, man, he's playing all the songs. And then it just snowballed from there. The harder rock and roll and these other Huey Lewis and the News songs, they bring me right back to it. Yeah, but I was very young playing along to all this stuff and jamming with Ron and my brothers. So
That's cool. Do you guys still have any of the like did you guys put on any shows or anything as like the Malfi brothers?
yeah, so we have like home videos and stuff of us playing, jamming for family over at the house and stuff like that. And we played. Ron's a very good piano player, and we are big fans of Jerry Lee Lewis. And we used to play all his stuff. So at a very young age, playing it. My parents were like, "Where do they learn all this?" So yeah, so
Awesome.
we've always been doing. And then went to the Beatles and Creedence and all this stuff, and kind of went from there. And then by the time I was in third, fourth grade, I was into Metallica and Pantera, like all that stuff. And so it just music has always been there. So I can't even remember when it wasn't. So
That's that's amazing. Like that is I'm like trying to imagine like little 3-year-old John like just jamming out to Huey Lewis. That's awesome. That's really cool.
yeah.
Uh for to bring it back to Pet Cemetery. Um Horror movies. Like do you binge horror movies? Like do you have a favorite horror movie? Is Pet Cemetery like how many times have you seen Pet Cemetery? And the different versions?
Um, to be honest, I've only seen the original version.
It's the
I
best.
was young, so I would, sneak in with Ron. Ron's 7 years older than me. So, and we have a brother between us. So I would sneak in and watch horror movies that they're watching. I liked the Nightmare on Elm Street. I liked all that stuff. Kind of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, those things that stood out when I was young and actually scared me. And oh. But all that and like the original like Scream and things like that. But I'm not like all year round. Ron can watch horror movies all year round. I'm kind of like when the season hits, but I don't watch much TV anyways. I'm too busy doing all this other stuff.
Yeah, like you, I don't know how. Well, you said you got like 3 hours of sleep. Like, how are you even functioning?
I'm just used to it. I'm going. I got a bunch of design work that's got to get done. I got some other stuff I'm doing. So everything I do is on a time limit.
Oh,
So,
that's
but
uh, you. There's a gold record behind you. You just moved, and I just saw a gold record behind you. What is that?
oh, that's a it's a rock artist of the month in February of 2021 for the International Singer Songwriters Association that I got. So it's
That's
sitting there. I mean, it's up against the wall. I don't know. Can you see it?
I can, yes. That's awesome. So is this your like do you jam in there? There's lots of guitars, there's
Yes. So
your
this is like this is where we rehearse and like kind of like our makeshift little rehearsal studio. And then we have a full studio at my guitar player's house where we do a lot of work there too as well.
That's awesome. Here's a little sneak peek of Pet Cemetery by VEER.
Go forth and be magical.